Show of hands, I want to know how many of you guys have been told that you couldn't do it. Nobody? Yes, there, I see some people. Okay, nothing motivates me more than being told that I can't do it. Hi, I am Tim Yap, and I'm here to share with you guys how to break boundaries. I come from a very conservative Chinese family, where I was always told that, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. So for me to reach a point, at this point of my life, where I am in different kinds of industries, such as nightlife and media, I had to really fight for it. I had to really work hard for it. I had to believe in my vision to get there. It started also in a club. We formed a club called Embassy 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. And at that time, there were only small bars and restaurants in Manila. So me and my partners told each other that every generation deserves its rightful dance floor, its rightful space where people can come together, artists and musicians and business people, to be able to share ideas and to have a drink and really be together. So we formed Embassy. And at that time, a lot of people said, no, that's not possible. It can't happen because it's just not the way things are being done. There's not enough people in Manila to have a rifle club. So a lot of the people who said no to us when we broached them the idea of this club are now regretting it, that they should have come and joined us at that time. From Embassy, it became Encore, it became Fly, we transferred to Resorts World, it became Republic, and now we are your friendly neighbor. We are the Palace. We're just right beside you guys, and I am familiar with some of you guys. I see some of you guys over there. Yes, so this club we put together. It's the biggest club that we have in the Philippines right now, and it's number 35 in the world. So we put this club, and after that we always sit down and talk like, what can we do to make it better? It's not just for the Philippines, but for the world. So we bring in all these foreign DJs, we bring in these acts, we constantly do things to innovate our business and our service. And one of those things that we did was we realized that Manila's become too small. And we have to branch out and do things outside of Manila also. So we opened something, we opened a hotel. We opened a hotel in Boracay called the Tides Hotel. And it's one of our other businesses that so that we can be in another place and have a change of scenery. From there also, some of you guys might know that I'm also in the events industry. That's why I coined the term eventologist. I didn't want to be an event coordinator, an event designer, so I designed my own name. I called it the eventologist. So from being a one-man team of conceptualizing, planning, and executing all these different events for different brands, I now have a group called Yaparazzi Events. And this group of Yaparazzi Events brings together the best event experts, and we service the event and PR needs of many of the top companies and corporations and brands in the Philippines and all over the world. Okay, so for all of us, when we wake up, I saw this and a friend of mine shared this with me. I wanted to share it with you. Every day when you wake up, these are the things that we sort of have to balance all together. We have to achieve that dream body so that we can have the best picture for our OOTD and all these things online. We're trying to balance off. We're trying to be the best person we can be for ourselves and for the people we love, and it's just nerve-wracking to put all these one-on-one thoughts all together and be who you're meant to be. But really, let's go to my tips. All you need to do, really, first thing that you have to put in mind is you have to wake up, dress up, and show up. That's the first thing. When you're lazy to get up, just say, I have to wake up, and I have to dress up. Because when you're dressed up for it, you're ready for action. And I remember there was one time in my life where I would wake up at 4 a.m. because at 5 a.m. I would be running in the polo field already, but because by 6 a.m. I had a radio show to do. It was a radio show that aired from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's a whole day. I had to do my radio show from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then do my meetings within the whole day, And then I had to tape a TV show, the Tim Yap Show, every day. It was aired on GMA, and it would air at midnight, and I would have some parties, and then do that thing till the next day. I almost died, but I'm still alive. It lasted me 7 months. But the thing that I learned from that experience, being able to wake up, dress up, and show up for it, has changed me immensely in life. And that's me waking up to do my morning run. Yeah, that's how I do it. Yes. Okay. So after that, you know that you are already there. You've already waken up. And so you have to create your own title. You know, because many times we fall under societal norms, and we have to conform, which is totally understandable. But I realize that the best thing to do is to design something that fits perfectly for you. You know, if you want to be a designer, if you want to be, it has to be specific to your fit. And that's why when earlier part of my career, I called myself an eventologist, because I didn't want to be called something else. I wanted to put more premium into the job that I was doing. And so when you're there, you have to announce to the world that you're there. You have to let them know that you are here. And so that's me at a regional launch of a product that we were launching for Dyson in Bangkok, Thailand. And that's me using the hair, that's actually a hair dryer. I was using it as a microphone. I had to announce that I'm here, okay? And also, in your journey in life, in your campus life, in your career, you always have to repack your bags. Repacking your bag is about like looking back into what you have. You have to travel light. Look inside your bag, and if you find books, just like we're kidding. You have to look at your bags and see what you need and what you don't need. And if you don't need certain things, you have to be able to tell yourself that I don't need this, so you can take it out, and you don't need it in your life, and you can move on and go ahead with your journey, because you know it's expensive to be charged with excess baggage, right? So you want to travel light. That's me traveling light. Actually, not so much stuff inside. It's not really what's. It's really not what the size of the bag is, but what you bring along with you. And from there, you have to also tell yourself that you have to be insistent, you have to be persistent, and you have to be consistent. Did you know when I was a kid, I was one of those guys that would be outside the club. I was giving away. Some of you are not yet allowed in clubs, and I wasn't allowed in clubs then. And so I was outside waiting for people to come out, and I was giving them flyers for them to be able to go to my parties, right? And I would see some people would just throw the flyers. I would see somebody would keep them. You know, so now every time I see those people giving flyers outside for the real estate projects, I really take it, because I remember that was me before. You know, and now the people who didn't allow me to go inside the clubs, I don't allow to get to my clubs too. It's called revenge. Okay, but so from then on, yes, I remember an experience. I was in Iceland just a week ago, and really we wanted to see the northern lights. And the first day we were jet lagged, and we were looking out in the sky, and we were driving up to the north part. It's like from here driving to Tagaytay, or not north, south, driving to Baguio and waiting and looking, and it was there for 3 days. The next few days we were just out there in the cold, about to die. Okay, that's a dramatization, but like super cold and waiting for it. And then our friends were saying, it's not going to show up, you know. We should just go home because it's not there. And I go, no, it's there. And I was closing my eyes, talking to my angels, please show up, please show up. I know it's going to show up. And I opened my eyes, it showed up. And this is the picture that resulted. So you have to really believe, you know. Sometimes, especially when people don't believe, you have to believe in yourself and what you see and what you know you are going to see. And the only person who can answer that is yourself. You have to embrace diversity and practice inclusivity. You know, you won't be able to experience the world or break boundaries if you stay in your room. Of course, there's internet. It's worse if there's no internet. But if you just stay in your room and be within your little safety cubicle, you have to go outside your comfort zone and, you know, be able to reach out and get to meet more people and get to experience life. That's how it is. So this is me experiencing some diversity. Yeah, quite diverse. Going out of my comfort zone and wearing that turban. Yes. Okay, you also have to learn how to evolve. For me, the best thing to do is you should always outdate yourself. When you see your old self, you tell yourself, how am I going to be the better version of myself this year and the next? You have to look at yourself, take a good look at the mirror and see for yourself who you are and how you want to change. Change is something that you have to embrace within yourself, and even if you're afraid to do it, it's something that we have to face in order to become better. Like what I've done. See, sometimes I look like Sai, sometimes I look K-pop, sometimes I look like Pikachu. So, that's part of it. Change from it starts from within, but it can also go from outside to inside. So I like to play with both. You have to also do things, sometimes you have to do things upside down. We're always given a set way of doing things. There's always such a manual that people expect us to follow, that sometimes you don't go through the front door, you go through the back door, or you go through the window. As long as you get there, that's what's important. And this is me doing things upside down. I was giving a song number for a friend on his birthday. See there, very figurative. And also you have to envision. You have to fate it till you make it. When I was a kid and until now, I have this dream journal. And I put all my dreams and all my hopes and desires. I sketch, I doodle, I write down things. I am going to be like this. I do a checklist of what I want to achieve within this year or within my lifetime. And some of it, I will put the book aside, and then after that, years after, I'll see it again, and it's all full of checks. I was able to do it. But sometimes you have to write it down. I remember one time I saw an advertisement in a newspaper, and I saw the page, and I go, I have to be that one. I want to be this. I deserve to be in this ad. So I cut out that newspaper, and then I put my face on it, like that. I put it in front of my bed, and every day, that's my ad, that's my ad. In 2 months, that was me. It became me. But I first had to see it. So you can, of course, you can apply it in different parts of your life too. And so there, I saw myself, and it's a waterfall. There, you have to see it first, and it will happen. Things that you want to achieve, places you want to go to, things you want to have. All these things, it starts from you thinking that you can have it. And when stuff happens, you have to use it as fertilizer. Like you can use that stool and put it on the floor. You think it's good for nothing. No, it actually enriches the floor, it enriches the soil, and it's what the plant will use for it to grow, right? So there are always bad days. There are always very, very bad days there. So that's me as the Donald during Halloween. I was trying to scare everyone. And so it happens. There are good days and there are bad days. You have to be able to deal with it and not be scared that the bad day will eat you up, because you have to realize that you have so much to learn and so much to grow from these not so good days. A life mentor of mine taught me this, and I'm in a creative industry, and sometimes people sort of copy or imitate what you do. Of course, people would say that it's a form of flattery, but also it can get to you. And I go, why are they copying us? It's blatant plagiarism. What's up with that? And she told me, Tim, in a flock of seagulls, the one that's in front has the best view, because you have the view of the horizon. The one on the second row has the view of the butt of the front row, right? So you have to bear in mind, and you have to enjoy that you have the front row view, you have that unadulterated view of the horizon, so you can pick and choose which parts you want to conquer. That goes for you with whatever you're doing in your life. And now let's go to the actual secret. The secret on how to break the boundaries in your life. Okay, but for this one, I want you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes right now, please. Everybody, please close your eyes and think of that time when people told you that you can't do it, that you're not smart enough, You're not good enough. You're weak, and it's impossible for you to be able to do this. Think of that person, listen to that voice that's telling you that you can't do it. And put all that energy into a ball right in front of you, so thick you can hold it. That you can hold this ball of negative energy telling you that you can't do it. And everybody, in 1, 2, 3, let's break it. And you may now open your eyes. Yes, do it, guys, do it, break it. Yes, you can break it. Oh, break it open. So I want you guys to remember that energy of this. You have to release it out, because if you keep it in, it's going to hinder you from being able to do things. You have to take out, eradicate that voice and break it. And remember this when you're about to hit your breakthrough. Okay? So there, I hope you're able to learn a thing or two on breaking boundaries. We can all do it. Thank you.